Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping $ usual 50/50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20 with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $ usual 50/50. Tickets are on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshitting on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Flex, the live is 1 in the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight, baby. Oh, we gonna cook this evening. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Be strong this Sunday evening. Come on in, smash that like button. Share the video. We are our own algorithm. We don't leave it up to Miguel to do anything for us. It's about us. We all we got. All right. So now, let's do this roll call because I got some things I want to discuss. The Queen showers in the building. Salute. Jimmy Bernard, Mark Wonderly, Lost from the Jungle, the Audacity Podcast, Rod Nail. I hope you enjoyed your born day, fam. Salute to you, brother. Stay solid, for real. Salute to you. Dirt Gang Boys, Universal Truth, TC. Von D Gaming, where you been? Good to see you. Mr. Shelton in the building. J Main. Eric Jordan, all praises Godzilla. Salute. Shogun, what's going on, brother? Chilltown Majors. Carlo De Niro. Salute. Tay, good evening. Todd Swindle in the building. Night Train in the building. What's going on, fam? Del Riff. Bionic Prince. Tone Brown. Rashard Livingston. Come on in, have a seat. Now, we had a busy weekend in boxing. And there was fights I didn't cover because I am one man and I'm also a family man. So, there's just, there's only so much I can do in a day. DP Rocker, salute. I didn't do a video on Gary Russell, who had an outstanding performance. That hand speed is blinding, and he got a stoppage. I'm on the Instagram post. I forgot where it was posted, but the first comment I saw was negative. Oh, that guy took a dive because Gary Russell can't punch. Yeah, right. Tell that to the mother effer he knocked out. Dropped him how many times? 4 times? If you know anything about boxing, it doesn't necessarily have to be the hardest punch. Although you heard the pop on those punches. It has to be the punches you don't see. I just said Gary was so fast. He cracked dude several times. And he didn't even know he got hit until he was pulling himself up off the floor. So salute to Gary Russell Jr. All right. So let's cut the nonsense out. Yeah. So yeah, Roach versus Russell sounded really good at 135. Sounds good. We had a very busy night in boxing. Usyk Cruz was Usyk Cruz. Usyk is a one-trick pony. You know, I'm happy for him. I love his story. I like the rags to riches stories. I'm a sucker for that. You know, he's a clean fighter, but he's very one-dimensional. He's a small guy, but he is what he says he is. He's a pit bull. Jeff Sparks, salute. He's a pit bull. Thank Father, what's going on? And he doesn't care. He's at 135. He's at 140. He wants all the smoke. For real. Noah Randall, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. That's for Dubois to make that public, whether they did or not, if he even cares. That's for Usyk to make that public, if he even cares. So if these fighters don't care, then I'm not going to say anything. If it falls into my lap that this person didn't do this or whatever, I'll mention it, but it's not, you know, it's not for me to harp on. If they're not going to harp on it, then I won't. Because sometimes, yeah, I really feel it's like, what am I even doing this for? I want to clean a sport, and you know, if these guys just jumping in the ring and they don't care, it's like, whoa, if you want to get yourself killed, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You know, it's annoying at this point, you know, but I rock with any fighter that wants VADA testing or particular testing, because this is a dangerous game, and it's just one false move and somebody will pull the wool over your eyes. You feel me? So it's like, whatever, man. So I don't know. You know, Noah, salute. So with that being said, we had a busy night in boxing. Shout out to Bam Rodriguez. Bam was Bam. Downloaded data. Dude almost slipped in the first round, but he was fighting on defense the whole night, which is never good. He did catch Bam coming in a couple of times, but it was nothing major. And eventually, Bam caught him one good time. I forgot what round that was. But his corner was like, nope. It's about to get out of hand. His corner threw the towel in. And Duff. Salute to Bam Rodriguez. He is the truth. He's he's on that pound for pound list. I never really like put one together. But if I was to, you know, he's definitely there. Coach of that, salute, brother. But here's what I wanted to talk about this evening. And salute to Stormy B, man. He just needs a break from this sometimes. Freedom March, salute, brother. Because, you know, he went off last night, and I totally get his point. Totally. And with respect to everyone's opinion, here's what I'm going to say. I did my video about Usyk and my opinion. There's a reason why I got him and Manny Pacquiao here. Right? Let me be very clear. I can acknowledge anyone's greatness when they are. But please don't act like I'm an idiot. And I refused to get into a debate with someone that was born in 2000 who really don't pay attention to the sport, and they say weird things like, oh, this guy, he would dominate now, and he dominate in the early 2000s and the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. No. Don't do that. Because your only link to the times where I grew up watching these fights, Shamar, what up? Lamar, what up? It's YouTube, and you don't sit through fights. You've never been in the gym. You don't have an analytical mind. You don't know what you're looking at. Now, the athletes, they bigger and stronger in some aspects, yes, they are. But here's the deal. The vitamins that they take in today, are they better today? That's debatable. You want to talk about getting it out the mud. First of all, the Hall of Fame fighters that I'm used to looking at, man, they didn't take no damn vitamins. They ate a steak, some eggs. They had a dietitian. They ran. They did road work. How many times did I say it? When I say that, I'm saying it for a reason. They did road work. They put in real work. And if they didn't, it showed. Mo Boxing, my brother, salute. And if they didn't, it showed, God damn it. Here's what I'm going to say. A guy like Buster Mathis would be a major player today. Go do your homework on who that is. Salute to him and his son. His son is a friend to the Strong House. His son fought Mike Tyson. It ain't work out for him. Prince, what up? And your favorite fighter fought more than 3 times in a year, damn near. Stop it, man. Well, my favorite fighter from back in the day. These guys, if the money ain't right, they ain't doing nothing but once or twice a year. Stop it, man. There's no comparison because you got to look at the intangibles. You have to look at these things. Now, here's why I'm talking about this. I gave Usyk his props, but see, what you're not going to do is try and use my words against me when you didn't hear what you heard what I said. But even when I say it in plain English, you don't understand what I'm saying because you're retarded. Red, what up, Red? Here's what I said about Alexander Usyk. I said he's just great as it pertains to this era of boxing. Who watched my video last night about Usyk? I'm no hater. I gave him complete praise. Stormy said the same thing. He said, man, this guy just knows how to win. When I'm talking about these fighters today, if they separate themselves from their contemporaries today, I'm talking about what they do today. If I want to put Usyk anywhere in the early 2000s and 90s, I would have done it. I'm very clear when I say something. By today's standards, Usyk is great. And here come these fools talking about, oh, well, you know, I think he would have beat out. Shut up. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Don't even say that. And here's what I got to say about you YNs, since this is what y'all answer to. You YNs. First of all, y'all are retarded. Y'all don't know anything. For you guys got to convince me you know this sport like you do. Don't tell me, oh, I'm trying to be an amateur, or I am an amateur, and yo, listen, man, there's professional fighters right now that don't know what I know about the sport. They don't know. They don't even know who's in their goddamn rankings. They don't know. We are the nerds. EJ, what up? $1 Trillion Dream, salute. We are the nerds. We know what they don't know. Just because you're in the gym hitting the bag and on the verge of making $1 million, that don't mean you know what I know. It don't. You're just good enough to be a pro. But as far as the history of the sport, for example, guys like Stormy and Coach Hudson and Coach Amber, I could talk to them about training in the gym, but at a certain point, I know when to shut the F up because they are trainers. I'm not. I've been trained. I'm not a trainer. I know when to shut up. And that's the problem with you cats. Y'all don't know when to shut up. When the Three Wise Men was on the air, that was scrapbook boxing. The late, great Kurt Sugar, Curtis Anderson, and Stormy B-Man. Y'all got to pay to watch those now. But when that show came on, that wasn't for me to participate in the chat and say, yeah, because you know this happened. That No. Those are 3 historians. 3. I had nothing to add. All I did was listen. I had nothing to add. And that's the problem with you YNs. Y'all are afraid to admit when you don't know something. Listen, man. If you have a man crush on a fighter, that's fine. But when I'm talking about them, see, first of all, y'all don't even understand. When I'm critiquing a fighter, y'all don't even know, especially when it's a black fighter, y'all don't even know it's coming out of love. Y'all even realize that. And then when they start mouthing off and saying stupid stuff and getting in trouble in the street, and I say, yo, come on, man. Instead of saying, yo, no, Drew, you right, you know, that he don't need to be doing that. Oh, no, you a hater. That's what you YNs do. I'm a hater? Whether they got caught with drugs or some gun stuff or car accidents, I'm the hater for saying, hey, man, he got to stop that. He can't be doing that. You know why? I say it all the time. Because when a black athlete gets in trouble, they run to our channels to make sure that we're holding them accountable. Because you're not. And look at what you're bigging up. Oh, so what? Tank crashed up his car and hit a pregnant woman and left the scene. Oh, so what? Had a YN in my chat when that happened. Oh, come on, Drew. That never happened to you? You never made a mistake? And I said, no, I can't say that I have. That's normal? To you? Sorry. I proudly say I'm not a street dude. No, I can't say I've had those issues. No. Every fender bender I've ever had in my life, I stayed there. Did some other cats drive off? Yeah, they did. Eventually, I caught, oh, yeah, come to find out, oh, one dude, it wasn't even his car. It was his mom's car. The other dude was underage. No, sorry, the older dude, they have no insurance. The other kid, it was his parents' car. He wasn't even supposed to have it out. Well, feel me? So, no, I don't identify with any of this stuff. Now, I was very clear with what I said about Usyk. He's great as it pertains to this era of boxing. Go listen to the video. I was very, very clear with what I said. What these clowns start doing, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, and let me be very clear. This ain't got nothing to do with Usyk. I said it on the video last night. He's never said anything racist. He doesn't put that out. He was walking around Manhattan a few months ago and BF ran right into him, smiled, took a picture with him and everything. And that's another thing. He was walking around Manhattan, no entourage or nothing. You clowns will walk right past him and not even recognize him. But this guy's done everything as it pertains to what you need to do in the sport today. Cruiserweight, undisputed. Heavyweight, two-time undisputed. I have no problem with Alexander Usyk. Would I like to see him fight Deontay? Yes. Did he duck Deontay? Yes. But I'm cool on all of that. I'm cool on all of that. The business is set up to where he don't even have to look at Deontay. That's a whole nother argument right there. It's not even an argument at this point. UYNs allowed that. Y'all allowed that. Phenomenal Mexican, salute. Y'all allowed that. So I'm letting that go because I understand. Trey, what up? Trey Titan in the building. Y'all already know what it is. Philip D, salute. So Usyk hasn't displayed any, you know what it is, man? Y'all, listen, you gotta be a certain age to understand what I'm about to say. This is borderline. Listen carefully, because y'all hear things and I say buzzwords and then y'all lose y'all senses. This is borderline the Elvis Presley effect. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Cats my age in the chat or a little older understand what I just said. Let me break it down. I'm gonna be very simple. Was Elvis Presley a racist? I wouldn't know. My parents never say, hey man, the guy was a racist. You know what he was? Kamara, what up? He was in love with our culture. That's what he was. He was in love with our culture. And everything he did on stage with the dancing and the hips and the moving of everything, how he sung and the way he sung, it came from us. The difference was he was white and he was already mainstream. He was a handsome white guy. But everything he did on stage to how he sung and how he danced was us. Us, 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 us. And the people he took it from, the names escaped me. But I listened to it. I said, oh, shit, that's why he sings like that. What's the first thing we said about Lomachenko when we saw him fight in America? He don't fight like no normal European dude. He fights with a little bit of soul, don't he? He's not robotic like the Klitschko's. He's not standing in front of you. He's not like a Costa Zoo. He's giving you lateral movement. He got good footwork. What did we say about Dmitry Pirog when he knocked out Daniel Jacobs? I said, man, this dude, he don't fight like the normal European fighter. He fights with soul. But what do you think happens when someone comes along and says, I've never seen anything like this since Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard? Pause, man. Floyd Mayweather just left you. Why are you acting like we ain't never seen Pernell Whitaker? What do you mean you never seen this before? You just never seen a white person do this before. Say that. Say it. And then they roll out the red carpet for him. And I'm like, you know what? You know, at that time, I'm like, look, this, I already understand. This ain't Loma's fault. But I don't have to root for him because he has a red carpet rolled out for him. And it showed in his career. It showed. And I'm already reading people. I done gave Usyk his props. He never said anything racist. I never heard about it. He's a fun guy, you know, he backs up all his talk in the ring. And I got on here and I said, he's great for this time. Did I not say that? I said, man, Usyk is just great. He's not good. He's great. And I'm reading these comments, not on my page, but on other pages. Now they got him beating Ali. You see what I mean? Now, clowns could come in here, and I'm calling you a clown. If you're in your 20s thinking like that, don't even bother, bro. Don't even bother. You don't know enough. Hope, Jamal, what up? You don't know enough. I promise you don't know enough. I'm not saying he couldn't compete, but Ali will beat his ass. Stop it. I'll take any fighter from the 60s and 70s and put him in a time machine, and they could compete, if not beat everybody today. Put Usyk in the ring with a prime Ken Norton. I'm not saying he wins, but he gonna get touched. Stop it. Coach Hudson, salute. Now the 86 in that super chat, salute to you, brother. He says salute Drew and salute to the mighty LDBC, salute. Now, I'm not putting this on Usyk. He didn't do this. He's a victim of circumstance. When I said this is the Elvis Presley effect, I'm not saying he's racist. I'm not even saying he's a crook. I'm saying he got praise as if he started something. And he didn't. He knows he didn't. He knows he didn't. Motherfuckers got Eminem as the greatest rapper of all time. Eminem will tell you he's not the greatest rapper of all time. He said, I got a bit of my style from the DOC. I got a little bit of my style from Tretch from Naughty by Nature. And I said, yo, he does. His wordplay is just like Tretch. It's just like it. And he said it. But 20 years, Eminem been around over 25 years. And these kids that were born in 2010, they don't even know what the fuck Tretch is. Tretch, who's that? Oh, that's the guy that I was at my parents' bar mitzvah or whatever, or I went to a wedding. That's that song. You down with OPP, that 50-year-old song? That guy? Yes. Yes, that guy. If you don't have any education, please don't talk to me like you know what you're talking about. And YouTube highlights don't do anything justice. It doesn't. There was a fantasy matchup on BFTB's show a few days ago. How would Usyk match up against George Foreman? And I just listened and laughed. It's a fantasy matchup. I just listened and laughed. Because the person speaking up for Usyk, and God bless him, I don't remember who it was, and I'm not talking bad about anybody, but the question was really not clear because there were two George Foremans. Now let that marinate for 1 second. There were two George Foremans. Now some YN is like, what do you mean? You know, there's two? No. There was two versions of George Foreman. There was the young George Foreman, and then when he came back, overweight with a bald head, that George Foreman. And let me be very clear. The second run of George Foreman was way more dangerous than the young one. I'm not asking if you agree or not. I'm telling you what I know. Now, I'm not saying Usyk loses or whatever. Hey, man. But that new version of George Foreman with the bald head was smarter. And guess what he had that the young one didn't have? You might never know. And it doesn't make sense. Or does it? The new George Foreman, which was the old one with the bald head, he had cardio. Uh-oh. He had cardio. He had cardio. Now, I'm not saying Usyk loses because he could compete. But I'm saying there was things that I was listening to and I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. The old George Foreman, which was a newer version of George Foreman, gives anybody problems. The old George Foreman was standing up in between rounds. Overweight, standing up in between rounds. The young George Foreman almost died from exhaustion when he fought Jimmy Young in Puerto Rico. Now, what I just said, I'm speaking Chinese to a YN. They're like, what the hell is a Jimmy Young? Yeah, okay. Do your homework. When George Foreman came back, he was way more dangerous. Usyk would have had a problem with that. I'm not saying he'd have lost. I'm not saying he'd have lost. But Usyk would not, dude, every time his back touched the ropes, he'd have to get off. Because Foreman was breaking shit, even when you blocked it. He had real power. But why I brought that up was because I listened to arguments. It wasn't an argument, it was a debate. And I was just listening, and I'm like, they're just not touching on the things that I'm envisioning. And remember when I said people have to qualify to talk to you, not only about boxing, but about anything in life. For example, a lot of y'all pay rent. Some of you pay a mortgage. You understand? Some of you pay a mortgage. Are you going to listen to a 21-year-old that's still living in his mama's house? And you're like, man, I got to pay this mortgage. Might have to, I'm going to sacrifice this car note. It's going to be late. I'm going to have to park this in the garage. And the YN says, nah, man, you got to pay that car note, man. Whoa, what are you talking? Shut up. Go away. You don't know what I'm dealing with here. Go sit down. Young Guns, you entitled to your opinion. You entitled to your opinion. But Young Guns, Tommy Morrison wasn't a bum at all. He says Tommy Morrison was a bum and he beat an old George Foreman. No. And like I said, old George Foreman could be outboxed. I've seen it happen. I think Axel Schultz beat George Foreman on HBO, but he didn't get the nod. Y'all remember Axel Schultz? I do. I just think he didn't get the nod. That's fine. But Tommy Morrison wasn't a bum. He wasn't a bum. Was Razor Ruddock a bum? Tommy Morrison beat him. He wasn't a bum. He wasn't a bum. And I salute Tommy Morrison. They tried to make him the Duke. They tried to make him the great white hype. And he's on record saying, I'm not going to do that. That's not what this is. Don't put that coat on me. Young Guns says Holyfield smoked in 04. You see, this is why I didn't want to do this. Now watch this. Young Guns, how old are you, young man? This is why I didn't want to do this. Because I'm trying to make a point here. Young Guns says Holyfield smoked 04. No, he didn't smoke him. In fact, Holyfield was talking about that fight, and Foreman hit him so hard when he went back to his corner, he says, are my teeth still in my mouth? Because he couldn't feel his gums. He thought Foreman knocked his teeth out. Holyfield was in trouble a few times in that fight. Foreman was very dangerous. Young Guns, how old are you, fella? How old are you, brother? How old are you? You ain't got to lie here. I'm just making a point, brother. You ain't got to lie. Ain't no beef. Because I'm making a point. I don't want to harp on things individually. I'm making a point about last night in particular. Because there was a lot of things said that I'm looking at it and it just got on my nerves. I'm like, yo, you know, these people that type on the keyboard, you don't know who you're talking to. You could be talking to a dude that's my age and they just don't know shit. They just don't know shit. They're just trying to be contrary just to fit in. And as an adult, you shouldn't need to do that. If you don't know something, then you listen and you ask questions and then get educated. In this current era, you know, when I needed information, I had to get up, leave my crib, and go to the library and do research. Today, all this shit is on the goddamn computer. You could look shit up. And if you don't have, because Wikipedia is not a real valid source, it's a start, and all you do is get other notes and compare notes. So there's some research, but you know, we live in a microwave society. Some of you guys don't like to sit still for about an hour to research stuff, which is why y'all pop up in our chats and y'all be wrong. We got to correct y'all on a lot of stuff. And I knew I'd had it when Tank Davis said he never saw a Marvin Hagler fight. Wait a minute.
What?
I mean, to me, that should be like homework. Felix, what up, my brother? That should be Prince Savage. Salute. Jamal, what up? If I miss you in the chat, know that I love you. Stay dangerous. Salute. That's it, Shelton. Wrong and strong. And these cats are so sensitive today. Rather than saying, oh shit, you know what? You might be right. Let me listen a little more. Let me do a little more research and come back. But when you say, no, you're wrong because of this, and this, they get in their feelings, and that's a female trait. They just want to argue. No, brother, no, sister, you're wrong. You're wrong. Young Guns, please, I ask you how old you are, brother. Before you say anything else, brother, how old are you? How old are you? You're putting out facts that are half-truths. Look, read the comment. Accurate, salute. Read the comment. This is what I'm saying. Your man's name is Young Guns, and he's saying Old Foreman didn't do anything but get a miracle off of Mora because he got overconfident and stood right in front of Big George. Well, Big George still had to land a punch, brother. Now, Michael Moore could say it was a miracle, but George broke down how that shit landed. And he's telling the truth because he threw a 1-2 and Moore stood in front of him. And I'm like, why is he? Teddy Atlas told him, don't stand there. So it wasn't a miracle. Foreman set him up. The first 1-2 landed, but he didn't put any pepper on it. The right hand. He said, oh, he gonna stand there, I throw it again, and then, oh, you forgot the old man could pop. And he slapped him. George set him up. So it wasn't a miracle, brother. If it was a miracle, why didn't Mike Tyson fight him? Tell me why. Because there was a lot of guys running around in the 90s that could have went and got that smoke. And with that win, he became a champion. The only person that I recall wanting to get in the ring with him was Riddick Bowe. So you call it a miracle, but here's what I'm asking you, Young Guns, before you go any further. How old are you, brother? It's no beef. But this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to show him something. And you're steady standing on this. Get in, David Scott, salute. You're standing on the square and you're cutting down a legend, brother. His first run in the 70s was great. His second run in the 90s was greater. It was greater. So when you say Old Foreman didn't do anything, stop right there. That is a lie. I could debunk it. I could pull up the box rec right now. I could pull it up right now. You're still typing, brother. I'm going to ask you one more time. How old? Watch this. Let me rephrase the question. How young a man are you, Young Guns? Stop asking me questions. Answer my question, young man. How young are you? You're typing. You're not putting a number. K-Rod, salute. You're not putting a number in there. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. You see what I mean? I'm not screaming and yelling. It's not beef. We have a difference of opinion. But before I go any further, you're saying some stuff that you're disqualifying yourself, brother. You're disqualifying yourself. I asked you one question. How young a man are you? That's all I'm asking, brother. Can you answer that instead of trying to cut down George Foreman? And I can explain to you why his second run was greater than the first one. Don't type nothing else, brother, until you put your age, and don't lie about it. You ain't got to lie here, man. NBA D Nice, salute. And while he types a number, I'll continue with what I'm talking about. I gave Alexander Usyk all props, and he's not responsible for what the media says about him when they say stupid shit like, now all of a sudden he could beat Ali. He could beat a prime Larry Holmes. Thank you, Mo Boxing, exactly. Jonathan Simon in the building, salute. Now Usyk could beat all the greats. And I'm like, pump your damn brakes. Now here's what I'm saying. Certain people should be off limits. Because you know what I hear? And this is how these dudes shoot themselves in the foot. All of a sudden, Usyk could beat Larry Holmes. He could beat Ali. He could beat Joe Frazier. He could beat George Foreman, right? He could beat Ernie Shavers, right? But you know how they admit how insecure and ridiculous they are? Y'all ready for this? You knuckle draggers remain silent on that. In fact, y'all put that in your mind. Remember when I said about normalizing shit? Y'all start thinking, yeah, he could have beat all the Sheriff Deputy Max, salute. Oh, yeah, he might have been able to compete or beat. He could have compete or beat. Yeah. And you know what the media never says? You know what no one ever says in the goddamn chat? Oh, well, he beat Rocky Marciano too.
Whoa! What the it's kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it? Oh, Froggy when he courting, he did ride Crambo. Froggy when he courting, he did ride Crambo.
Go! Uh-oh. Whenever they talk about some fighter today, they always talk about the black fighters. Everybody's compared to Muhammad Ali, Evander Holyfield, Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson, and all of a sudden, I'm reading people saying, oh, Usyk will do this and do that, and he can compete and do this and do that, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, they never say Rocky Marciano. By default, you're admitting how great we are. How about that? All you gotta do is listen. What we seen versus public perception. That's the title of the live stream this evening. King KO says Usyk over Holyfield. You're entitled to that. We're never gonna see the fight. You're entitled to that. It's a fantasy fight. You're entitled to that. I would love to see that. We'll see it on the video game. I don't know. King KO says if Usyk was black, y'all niggas would love him. How about this, King KO? We love Usyk now. What you mean? You see this what I'm saying? Ignorance. This ignorant, insecure cracker just pulled up. Obviously, he didn't see my video last night. I said Usyk is just great. By today's standards, Usyk is just great. Did I not mention today's standards? Usyk is great. And if you say this man is not great, you're a fucking hater. By today's standards, Usyk is great. So King KO, what are you here for? What are you here for exactly? Don't block him. I need y'all to see that. I'm letting y'all know, ignorant motherfuckers watch me all the time. See, now he just pulled up and he thinks that we're here just dragging Usyk. No. I said on my video last night, Usyk is a Hall of Famer. When he retires, he can retire today. It takes them 2 years, 24 months from the time you retire for you to make the ballot for the Hall of Fame. You march him right in. He's an undisputed at cruiserweight champion, and he's undisputed 2 times a heavyweight champion. Stop right there. You don't need to go no further. This man is an instant classic. Period. Did I not say that last night? To my knowledge, he's no racist. He's funny when he's dancing around. He has a sense of humor. And he's down to bust ass. Period. He showed up, he showed out. And he's doing it at the heavyweight division. And guess what? He's not the biggest heavyweight. He's not. As a matter of fact, how many heavyweights did he fight that were bigger than him? Dubois was bigger than him. Derek Chisora was bigger than him. Fury was definitely bigger than him. Who else? AJ was bigger than him. He beat their ass. To not like Usyk makes you a hater. He's drug-free. I love it. By today's standards, he's an instant classic. And I said, when he hangs it up, you march him right to the Hall of Fame. That's it, no exceptions. Did I not say that? So, King KO, where are you? With your insecure nonsense. Y'all Negroes would love him. That's what you said? That's what you said, right? Say some more shit. Now that I just took all the bullets out your gun. Now you're pulling the trigger and you're hearing click, click, click. Now you got no bullets. Now what? Are you here for the insults or are you here to talk boxing? Well, sit back and get educated. Because you can't do nothing else but learn. Can't do nothing else but learn. Because you can't contribute anywhere else. You can't contribute anywhere else. You got nothing. Now, back to boxing, please. Usyk is not responsible he's not responsible for what the standards that the media holds him to. You know why? He never said, I'm better than Ali. Mo Boxing, that's the fight I called for. Adji Cabiel is the truth, and he's a giant killer. That's what I want. Adji Cabiel he's the dark horse. No one's paying, I don't know how, but no one's paying attention. That guy's a beast. I like Adji Cabiel. But right, I know King KO, whatever the fuck your name is today, you ain't hear me say that either though, right? That's what I'm saying, family. Y'all always got to stay on course. Stay on your purpose. I'm talking boxing here. That clown came in here trying to make it a race thing. He tried to make it ignorant. I'm trying to get away from the ignorant. And I'm pointing out that we salute Alexander Usyk, but I'm pointing out what the media does and how they play on the boxing fanatics that don't know any better. And that's what I don't tolerate. I'm not going to put a coat on Usyk because he never did anything to make me do that to him. Sergey KK Kovalev did. Vasily Lomachenko's camp did. His camp did. If you know, you know. J.R. Dan says, yo, Drew, is Dubois afraid of beating a white man in London? I know what you're trying to say, but again, you're still falling short. You're still falling short. J. Bean, salute. You're still falling short. I said what I said about Daniel Dubois. Now, whether I need TD Sports salute and whether I need to get into deeper detail, that's for another show. That's not what I'm talking about. And you see, this is what I'm talking about, family. Let me put it in plain English. You never let assholes hijack your show. In other words, stay on purpose. I've been giving Usyk credit since he beat Dubois. He actually beat his ass last night, yesterday. I've been giving him props. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to listen to this fool and then say, oh, well, fuck Usyk. No, I don't need to do that. Until Usyk does something outside the ring personally to make me turn my back on him, then it is what it is. He separated himself from everybody around him. Jay Bean, Boxing Embedded in that super chat, much love. He said, keep fighting a good fight, Drew. I'm on the job, man. Salute to you, good brother. Salute to you. Thank you so much. Usyk is an instant classic. He's a Hall of Fame fighter. I said it how many times yesterday? But I need y'all to beware of what the media does. I just brought up Lomachenko came here. Brian, what up? He came here, had one fight, and all of a sudden, Aram says, this guy's better than Ali, or he's on the level of Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. I said, see, there you go. There they go. They did it. Gio James, Bronx on deck. Salute. Jay, what up? You see what I mean? Look, Lomachenko ain't asked for that. And when they asked him, they tried to get him to say it. They said, are you pound for pound number one? He says, no, Bud Crawford. And then they changed the topic. Watch the play. Now, why did I bring that up? Watch the play. Go ahead. I made this meme. That was on my television. I took a picture with my phone. But just won by knockout. And unprovoked, Teddy Atlas says Lomachenko's number one pound for pound. And this is after he lost his fucking Salido. And Andre Ward, this is before the Kovalev fight, the first one. So you got two undefeated black fighters standing there, and unprovoked, Teddy Atlas says that shit. So I just made a meme. Bud Ward was like, how much they paying you to say that, Teddy? I watched it like, yo, what the fuck? Why would he say that? He need to go run it back with Orlando Salido. Did he do it? No, of course not. Did his fans say, yo, you got to get that back in blood? Get it back in blood. Get it back in blood. Did he get it back in blood with Orlando Salido? No? Got it. Andre Ward beat Sergey Kovalev in the first fight. What did he have to get that back in blood for? He won. But whatever, he did it again, and this time he stopped him. One time he was a son of judges. The next time he was hitting them low. No, he wasn't. How many times did y'all say Sergey Kovalev was just making excuses and to take your L and you should retire and you're done? And this is a racist. How many times you niggas said he's washed up and he should pack it up and he's done? None of you said it. You see how y'all do? You see that? See that? You knuckle draggers are conditioned. And when I get on here and I say this, all I say to y'all is, where's the lie? Why you think I'm lying? I'm lying about this? Think about what you're saying. So Loma didn't have to run it back with Salido? You thought that Andre Ward really lost the first fight? Okay, fine. He fought him again. This time he stopped him. Do you agree with Kovalev talking about I got hit low? Because what got him in trouble was a right hand over the top. Had nothing to do with the body shots. The body shots came later. And everyone who knows Kovalev, they know who's weak. He's weak. Well, it's behind the scenes. He's weak to the body. It's known. Bet y'all didn't know Zhilei Zhang versus Edgy Cabiel was a bad matchup. You know why? Because Zhilei Zhang, the word on the street is he's weak to the body. That's been the word. But whatever. Whatever. So I'm just letting y'all know, when you read these things, don't blame Usyk. King KO, are you done with you being insecure? I know you're still watching me. Did you hear what I just said? Usyk never said anything wrong. He didn't do that. He's not responsible. But you watch that media that puts him on the goddamn pedestal and watch what they say. They're definitely going to try and put words in his mouth. How do you think you match up with Muhammad Ali? But a knuckle dragger like Showbiz, the grown adolescent, Usyk, press 1 if you stole it. Hold on a minute. Nah, fuck that. Motherfucking Showbiz, the adult. Usyk, press 1 if you stole it. You know, how do you think you match up with Muhammad Ali? Press 1 if you stole it. I think that you would outbox him and stop him in round 14. But how do you think you match up with Muhammad Ali? Press 1 if you stole it. And Usyk will be looking at his ass like, this guy, this guy right here. Fuck you talking about, man? Get out of here. Hey, Drew, why are you saying that? Why you think he'd say that? Well, he sat right across Teofimo Lopez and said, I personally think that you was undisputed. I'm like, whoa. Get on your knees and inhale both his nuts. Penis involved. Just do it. Just do it. Just inhale his balls while you're at it. That dude was never undisputed, man. Stop. Why are you? Oh, okay. But I'm on Bill Haney's payroll, though. He's been talking stupid for years, and it finally got him a deal with the network. That's all he wanted. That's the result of stupid shit. So you see other YouTubers, it's like, wait a minute, he was saying this just last year, and now he's talking like this? What happened? Then they pop up with a deal. And let me park there for a minute. When you see YouTubers like that, I told y'all. Niggas take bread. Main biker, salute. I was offered bread. 78 was offered bread. Black Fight Fan was offered bread. BFTB was offered bread. I'm reading the email like, what the fuck? I said, nah, this is a troll. Hell no. Hell no. Nope. You know why? Because we move the needle. What we say matters. They wanted to silence us. They legitimately want us to talk down on American fighters, black ones in particular, like Errol, like Bud, like Deontay. Devin Haney was just now coming up. We're talking about 6 or 7 years ago now, y'all. We're talking about before the pandemic, y'all. I deleted the email and I called 78. I said, bro, this is a troll talking about, 4 payments of this, and that. And he was like, nah, that's real. And 78 told me the number they offered him, because the truth is the general could have sold y'all out a long time ago. I said, what? Yes. What they wanted us to do was talk up the UK fighters and not talk about everybody else. Can you imagine how these black fighters would look if we didn't speak up on their behalf? Cinnamon Savage, salute. And he absolutely is. I agree 100%. Stephen X, my brother, salute. Imagine that. If we just didn't speak up on their behalf, they'd be saying anything about them. When you got people in their camps hitting you up behind the scenes, and there's a lot of shit y'all don't know about. When I go to the fights, I have people, yo, Drew, thank you, man. I'm like, well, who are you? I'm on such and such team. I'm such and such cousin. And I was in the live stream when you said this and that, and I appreciate that. That's my cousin. What? You never, ever know who's watching you, bruh. Hell, I know Teofimo team be like, yo, there go that nigga Drew. We hate that nigga. Hate you too. And I know you hate niggas. Feelings mutual. Stay away from me. It's as simple as that. More on Tiafimo tomorrow. I promise you. Shout out to Super Del Matias. Freedom's marching that super chat. Salute to you, good brother. Much love. Salute. 919, salute. More on that tomorrow. Popping that jab, salute. Oh, I know, Thomas. I got a whole lot about that tomorrow. Got a whole lot about that tomorrow. But let me just tease a little bit. Just a little bit. Y'all remember what Tiafimo said about Puerto Rican fighters? They're easy. Remember he said that? So he says that about Puerto Rican fighters. They're easy. They're slow. Right? And then he says what he says about niggas. Right? Where that nigger at? Right? Well, this is the worst case scenario. This is the worst of both worlds. This is the worst of both worlds. These are two black Boricuas. It's Felix Trinidad and Super Del Matias. Okay? 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 Como? This is the worst of the worst for him. But you know what? He slapped the shit out you. You gotta do something, baby. And that's a unification fight. You gotta do something, baby. Come on now. What's next? Detroit, what up, my brother? What you gonna do? Tiafimo, what you gonna do? All right, you already done ducked $11 million versus Devin. You already ducked 11 mil. What's going on now? You gotta, now this dude slapped your face or slap, I don't know what, I know he got slapped. I know you raised a hand to me, it's on and popping. You gotta do something now. Oh, where y'all at? Oh, man, I'm gonna cook tomorrow. Get it back in blood, right? This dude done slapped you. This dude done did what everybody said they're gonna do when they see somebody. Remember when Tank said he gonna slap Tio when he see him? He gonna slap Devin when he see him? Well, Super Del really said I'm gonna slap when I see him, and he did. So I don't give a fuck if it's his glasses, his hat, if he swung them and missed, I don't care. You gotta do something. Get it in blood, right? I want all y'all to pull up tomorrow. Main biker in that super chat, he said, shout out to Super Del for smacking the beak off of Tio. Man, listen, Tio gotta do something, but more on that tomorrow. More on that tomorrow. The fact is, if you slap my fitted off my head, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking throat. Jose, what up? If you raise your hand to me, it's goddamn near a death sentence. What are you talking about? You feel me? He gotta do something. This translates into a payday and everybody wants to see it. Puerto Rico versus what? Brooklyn by way of Honduras, by way of Florida. What he got going on? Don't care. Let's go. Anyway, back to the media mind flip. What we seen versus public perception. What we seen was Alexander Usyk separate himself from everybody in the heavyweight division. He beat Tyson Fury's ass. Right? He's had solid wins at heavyweight. He beat AJ twice. Now he beat, bullshit aside. Fuck my speculation about what happened in the first fight. When I say fuck it, I mean I in my mind, I know why he did what he did. He'll never say it. He'll never say it out loud. That's something that black people are gonna have to have a conversation with behind the scenes, because he won't say that on record. But what I saw last night, nothing, bro. There was no excuse for that. Usyk just separated himself. He was just a better fighter, period. That was a solid punch. It rocked Daniel's head back. End of. Monster Musa says, what's up with that Usyk and Paul shit? You know what? At this point, it's whatever Usyk wants it to be. I know if he ends up fighting Jake Paul, I'm going to laugh really hard. Y'all know why I'm going to laugh, right? Y'all know why, right? Because he'll be getting the Jake Paul fight. Because I think he made $17 million last night, didn't he? And guess who turned down what? $25 million and asked for 2 Ferraris? and then was going to give us Lamont Roach and then Jake Paul and Ride Off to the Sunset. Yeah, Mellow Yellow. Remember that? Mellow Yellow. Yep. And you know what? At this point, if Usyk wants to have that clown fight on the way out, I ain't got no beef. Because you know why? Y'all ready for this? Because let me disarm the Tank fans before they run in here. Oh, so it's okay if the white man fights. You see, Drew, because you know the little nigga gonna be from Baltimore. You see, Drew, this is what I'm saying. You cutting down the black man, and now you supporting the white man. Why is it okay for Usyk, E-W-W-S-Y-K, Usyk? Why is it okay for Usyk to fight Jake Paul, but you don't want Y-E-W, don't want Tank to fight him? Well, simple. Because Usyk at least fought all his contemporaries and became undisputed 2 times in his respective division. What? You heard me. So absolutely I have no issue with that. Because at this point, he earned it. Now, this is how fucked up. This is how fucked up the world is right now. And this is the world of boxing that you motherfuckers created. Y'all did this. How the hell is Jake Paul the prize? How the fuck did that happen? But that's what y'all wanted. I was minding my fucking business. And I said, well, get Jake Paul the fuck out of here. How many times I've been saying, get Jake Paul the fuck out of here. He's Butterbean. But somehow, some way, he's getting ranked, and now they really entertaining him fighting ranked fighters. Fine, that's what y'all want to do. I can't stop it. Y'all not listening to me. Well, cool. So now he's doing face-off with a motherfucking real heavyweight. And if he gets that fight, fine. It's going to do millions of dollars, and he's going to carry Jake for about 5 rounds and eventually kill him. Eventually he's going to kill him. Fuck out of here. Y'all did this. Y'all did this. And I'm saying I ain't got no problem. Usyk could do whatever. He could do whatever he wants to do. D-E-W, D-E-W. At this point, you know why? Outside of me being greedy and want to see him fight Deontay, want to see him fight Adji Cabiel. I know Joseph Parker wants to smoke. He mentioned AJ's name again. He mentioned Fury's name again. Now watch this. He's mentioning names, even if he beat them already, at least he's with the shits, and they're his contemporaries. Who deserves a Jake Paul fight? I can't believe I'm saying this. Because Jake Paul should be like, well, man, I mean, I want an Usyk fight. Nah, kids, slow down. Usyk is a real one. You're not. But no, since y'all made him the prize, fine. Y'all did this. What we seen versus public perception. With you knuckleheads, you YNs, y'all made a Jake Paul fighting any heavyweight a reality. Dummies. So since you made it a reality and I exist in it, fine. If you had to make a choice about who deserves a Jake Paul fight, would you pick Usyk or Tank Davis? Rhetorical question. We all know the answer. So here comes Delano, old head with a YN mentality. He says, stop it, Drew. First thing he says is stop it, Drew, which is amazing. What do you want me to stop? He said, Mr. Gary Russell is back, and guess who he called out? Your boy Roach. And no, he is ducking. What up with that? Oh, God, good Lord. I want to entertain this. Well, all I got to do is say Tank, and then here they come. All right, let me just say this, and then I'll get to Manny Pacquiao. Roach don't have to wait for Tank Davis, because Tank Davis might be going to prison. Your boy likes hitting bitches more than he likes hitting his opponents. How long is Roach supposed to wait for Tank? So while Tank gets to sort out his legal issues, and I said this before, he needs to walk away from the game and fix his life and immerse himself into Islam and calm down. And if he wants to come back, then come back. But he can't be in the ring with all this stuff going on. Remember when I asked, do you want this nigga in the ring before November? And I had this crackhead nigga from Baltimore, this nappy-headed nigga. Oh, you got to tear down a brother to bring up another one. No, I don't. All these fighters in or around in or around Tank, they're already up. Shakur had his little issues outside the ring, but he's up now. He's making millions. He's out here contradicting himself, but he's still a hot commodity. Devin is up. Everybody around 135 is ready to rock and roll, but your man Tank. So that's not a duck. He's just not going to sit around and wait for his stupid ass. So I like Gary Russell and Lamont Roach at 135. I like that. I like that. Especially Gary looks sharp. I like that. You know who's not ready? Tank. So holler at me when he gets ready. That's what you do. He just mentioned it, Delano. It just mentioned yesterday. I know Lamont Roach said, I want the winner of Devin versus Brian Norman. He's talking. Cinnamon Savage says, I heard Tank is 7-0 against 304s. Yeah, he knocking these bitches out. You know, Tank Davis is like a retarded superhero. He ain't Superman. He's super stupid. He fly backwards and punch old bitches in the face and give criminals the purse type shit. Detroit native, salute. Shout out to Super Stupid. Anyway, I like Russell versus Roach. Don't talk to me about Tank until he's not even in camp right now. Don't talk to me about that guy until he posts something to him recent, hitting the bag, saying, yo, back focused and I want all the smoke. Then we'll talk about it. Right now, he got legal problems. He got legal problems. He got to go fix that. So, Delano, what you need to be doing is talking boxing right now. Now, boxing, please. Manny Pacquiao. I'm reading people saying, hey, man, you know, this is great for the sport. It's moving the sport in the right direction. How the fuck did Barrios versus Manny Pacquiao to a majority draw? How the fuck did that move the sport in any direction, in forward in particular? How? Please explain. I dare you. Please make sense of that. Do not tell me that Manny looked good last night. Don't tell me that. Because here's the reality, and I'm not talking bad. I'm just saying, yo, look. You want to know why Barrios made the list? The only reason why he made Devin Haney's list was because he has a belt. That is it. Let me ask y'all a question. Exactly, Mo. It was tough to watch. Manny was off balance. He was one bad step away from tripping, and I could not understand why Mario Barrios didn't just back him up, put him on the back foot, and stick that jab in it, because he was winning the jab contest. But, you know, Manny likes to, he throws a lead left hand out the southpaw position. You know he's going to do it. Who the fuck does Manny Pacquiao beat at 147 right now? And by the way, did y'all hear Mario Barrios' camp say we wanted him to come in at least 168 on fight night? Did you hear that? Who else heard that? Let me borrow from my brother Champ's side. Press 1 if you heard them say that. I'm not the only person that heard it. I said, oh, listen to that. Universal Truth, you heard it. And these motherfuckers that are announcing the fight, they saying it like, yeah, you know, his camp said we want him to come in at least at 168 on fight night. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yo, when someone says something, I'm like, and I'm just listening like, is anyone going to call him a fucking weight bully? And then I'm looking online, nobody said anything. And I said it on my video last night. I said it last night. Why isn't anyone calling Mario fucking Barrios a weight bully? Now, if he went in there and steamrolled Manny Pacquiao in one round, you know what everyone would have said? Oh, Manny, he 46. Come on. Okay, we know that was going to happen. No one, and I mean no one, would bring up the fact that this fucking camp said that they wanted Mario to come in at 168. And I'm telling you, when they said that, I'm looking at his physique, and I'm like, he damn sure is 168. And Manny wasn't 160. He wasn't 147 either. He was probably 155, 160. I know I'm not bugging. I heard it. BF was live. He heard it. Jerome Truitt said Manny didn't look terrible. He didn't. But if you've been watching Manny as long as I've been watching Manny, which is over 2 decades, he looked old last night. And I can't think of anybody he could compete with on a high level except Mario. And you know what? The other thing is, Mario Barrios. Is that the Mario Barrios that fought Dudanis Ugas that beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao? Did Mario Barrios have a goddamn agreement with him? Louis Hatton, salute. And don't get me wrong, I could troll because I'm still scarred from the years of Pac-Tard abuse. But he made it to the final bell. Good for him. But if they gave him that fucking belt last night, who's he fighting? Devin? Brian Norman? Who? I heard people mention a Tank fight. Sounds good, right? Sounds good, right? Tank better not fight nobody at 147. Go! Y'all know why. I'm not even going to get into detail. Y'all know why. PGH, what up? Y'all know why. I saw it in the chat. Oh, if he gets the belt, he could fight Tank. And I'm like, oh, shit. I ain't gonna say nothing. But if that is entertained, it's the same thing with Shakur. Right now. Right now. He was talking about fighting at 47. As soon as Devin Haney's name came up, I gotta fight him at 42 or 44. Why you gotta catch weight him, but you don't want to catch weight anybody else? Pussycat. Isaiah, what up? Michael Ray in the building, salute. What we seen versus public perception. Everyone's saying, hey, man, he looked great. Y'all gonna get this dude killed, man. He said after the fight, yeah, I think I'm gonna fight again. Let's pull up BoxRec right now. I'm gonna look up the rankings right now. Official rankings. Let's go all the way down to 147. Oh my God. All right. The only names that make sense where he could get a bag, he could fight Cameron that fought Boots. He could fight Conor Benn. Conor Benn will fucking knock his head off. Do y'all even know who Patty Donovan is? How about Alex Rocha? Brian Norman, Devin Haney, anyone? You know it's a safe fight for him, but I don't see him winning it. Rolly. I think Rolly will knock out Manny Pacquiao. The dude's old. Oh, wait a minute. Here's a fight that'll make a lot of money. And this nigga lied about him, and Manny had to tell him, cease and desist, stop using my name. We never spoke about having a fight. If you do it again, I'm going to sue you. Ryan Garcia. There you go. Yeah, Thomas, he hasn't, but you know what? Money talks and bunny shit takes a hop. They'll make that fight. What's he gonna do? Come back and fight Barrios again? He could make bread and don't need a fucking belt. That's where Manny Pacquiao is. That's where he is. Yeah, Eric, everybody that I just mentioned would beat Manny Pacquiao. Everybody. And Mario Barrios, well, you know what? He showed him way too much respect. He was high-fiving him. He didn't want, Manny did not like it to the body because he's soft there now. None of those was low blows, man. Stop it, bro. And I don't know what kind of agreement they had, but I promise you, nobody, unless they take some back-end money that we don't know about, ain't nobody gonna take their foot off the gas on no Manny Pacquiao. Monster Moose says, Manny versus Ryan. Exactly, brother.
Good night.
You know what I know in that fight? In that fight, Manny will be looking like it's 2010 again. I remember how good Manny looked when he fought Keith Thurman. Once he popped the Ali shuffle, I said, oh man, Keith is losing, bro. He's losing. Manny looked like he was 5 years younger in that fight. And then I found out, guess what? There was no testing in that fight. Go! Hey, man. Jeremy, what up? Hey, man. If you pros can't take care of yourself in this atmosphere, I don't know what to tell you. So I fuck with Deontay. What happened to him, it'll never happen again. So I fuck with Devin. What happened to him will never happen again. That's why I fucks with Michael Fox. What happened to him will never happen again. Well, Shockey Foster. Didn't that dude, that Mexican dude, try to get to the ring with Fugazi gloves? Remember that? Right. Ain't no cheating in boxing, but magically all these fighters are on their game now. Don't ever talk to me. Usually I say cats is doing too much, but the reality is y'all are not doing enough. Fuck out of here, man. Ward said Manny won last night. He won the drama because he made it to 12. He won the drama of the fight. But I'll say this. If Manny got the nod, I wouldn't have said robbery. If Barrios got the nod, I wouldn't have said robbery. Was I cool with a draw? Yeah, I didn't care. It wasn't a robbery either way. It could have went either way. I'll take the draw. It's fine. You know what I don't want to see? I don't want to see that again. The next person that gets in the ring with this guy need to beat the shit out of him. You can respect him and love him later. Larry Holmes loved Ali, but he had a job to do. He understood it and Muhammad Ali stood it. He understood it. By the time he fought Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali was in the goddamn boxing ring fighting for like 35 years or something like that. It was something stupid. He fought in three different eras, man. 60s, 70s, and in the 80s. Come on, bro. Ridiculous. Wake up and smell the failure. Nah, Tone. 2 reasons why he shouldn't fight Devin Haney. Number 1, he'll die. Manny Pacquiao will get obliterated. That's number 1. Number 2, what's that gonna do for Devin? Devin gets money. And if he beats up Manny Pacquiao, they're gonna say he beats up people in wheelchairs. He will get no credit for whooping this guy's ass. Devin is on some different shit right now. But Tank will jump in there and try and do this. And his fanatics will big it up and whatever, bro. And all I'll say here is, all right, man, they fighting. Tank better not lose. He's supposed to get this guy out of here. And by the way, Tank, are you going to hang out at 147? Because your fanatics 2 years ago said that 140 was too big for you. So what, you going to 47? You're going to go back down to 40? You're going to go back down to 35? What you going to do, bro? We out here watching, man. public perception. Barrios versus Pacquiao did not move the sport into a proper direction. This was a dumbass fight, but if he wanted to go out on his shield, then Barrios should have stopped respecting him. You heard his corner? They kept saying, stop high-fiving him. He keeps talking about you hitting him low. Let the ref take care of that. When he backs off and hikes up his shorts, hit him again. He didn't want to do none of that. My brother Jose says, Tank, you need to see Roach. Now he needs to see a therapist and his parole officer. Then he needs to go to the mosque and see his imam, get right with his God, and then see Lamont Roach. He needs to see a psychiatrist, a psychologist, the imam, his parole officer, and then he can see Lamont Roach. With all of that, I'm still not sure if it's going to work out. So, fanboy killer in here, while I'm talking about boxing, says, Officer Poop Titan. Let's let that marinate for a second.
Get your hand off my penis!
You see, when the young kids, they have nothing else to say, they have nothing to add productive to the conversation, they come in here. You know you can't shame me for anything in life.
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
You can't say anything to shame me. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Leave his ass right there. Watch this. I make 6 figures. I'm not the richest man in the world, but my ribs ain't touching. I'm not starving. I make 6 figures. I'm 6'2" with a 6-pack and a 9-inch dick. I've won in life. The world is easy when you have a big dick. Serious. How about that? See how easy that is? I've won. I've won. I've won. You could never shame me. I'm on here talking boxing, making a little bit of money, but I'm talking about the sport that I love. What are you here doing? Dreams money could buy. I don't know who you are. But the replay gang is it's in your future. This is how I handle trolls. All I gotta do is give them my measurements and then they go back in their rat holes. Because they realize I could pull their girl or their gay lover would rather be with me than them, but I don't get down like that. I could pull their mom and I could pull their sister if they're legal. I could pull a 21-year-old or a woman my age. It don't matter. You can't shame me. How about that? Get my views up. That's what you do. Get my views up. That's what you do. Get my views up. Come back tomorrow. Get my views up. Because I'm not the wealthiest on YouTube, but you know, you get paid in 2 days. And I ain't gonna hold you. Every now and again, that bread be hitting. Or a little more than again. It be hitting. I don't have the biggest channel in the world, but yeah, I paid off a lot of bills. It's right on time too, because you know, we going to Vegas. Feel me? All right, let me entertain this real quick. Delano says, who Roach going to see when Gary Russell getting his ass? Pause. You know what I noticed about you, Delano? Instead of you saying, hey, man, you know, Gary Russell and Roach, man, that's a great matchup. Instead of you moving on from Tank, magically, because Gary's from the DMV, I get it, magically you became a Roach hater and a Gary Russell fan. Let me give you some advice, Delano. You might want to pump your brakes on Gary Russell, because you can Google or YouTube his opinion on Tank Davis, because once upon a time, he was on Tank's bumper. You want to take a guess why that fight didn't happen? I'll give you one guess. Ain't gonna take long. You already know what I'm gonna say. You do know before Devin Haney was ever even around anything, Gary Russell was on his bumper. He was on road, not on road, he was on Tank's bumper. Fight never happened. Guess whose fault that was? And mind you, Tank was the A-side for a minute. Michael Fleming, my brother, salute. See, before, I think, enemy of my enemy is my friend type thing. Listen, neither Roach nor Gary Russell fucks with Tank Davis. Y'all remember when just a while ago, Tank was breaking bread with Roach because they were friends. Remember that? Now he punched him in the face and getting grease in his eye. And all of a sudden, it's they ain't friends no more. So now Roach is like, yo, your man even signed a contract. You didn't believe it. Now Tank got all this going on, and guess what? There is no contract, because you know why? Tank never signed it. So I guess Roach wasn't lying. So now Gary Russell saying whatever he said. I ain't hear what he said. But I'm saying I like that fight. Lamont Roach versus Gary Russell at 135. I like that fight. And if they're going to mix it up, I like that. Because at least these brothers are getting done. And Gary Russell looked phenomenal. He looked phenomenal. He did. And salute to the Russell clan. Salute. Rest in peace to Batman. He was a regular on my show at one point. Rest in peace to his brother Batman. And Gary Russell was on Tank's. He was on his bumper for real. Didn't happen. So let's see. Tank ain't want no smoke with Roach. He didn't want no smoke with Gary Russell. Didn't want no smoke with Shakur. Didn't want no smoke with Debbie. Want me to go on? He didn't want no smoke with Lomachenko. When it mattered, not this old Lomachenko with a broke up back. He didn't want it 5 years ago when it mattered. So that's 5. He didn't want it with Teofimo either. When Teofimo was unified. Didn't want that either. He gave you Mario Barrios at 140. Gave you Hector Garcia at 135. Brian Garcia at 135. Drained him down. What are we talking about here? Please stop with Tank. Delano, can you make me a promise, dude? When Tank makes an official announcement that he's going to camp to do some fighting, I will drop you a link and I'll let you cook for 10 straight minutes and I won't interrupt you. Whether he wins or loses, when he makes the official announcement, back focused and in the camp, I'm in the gym now and it's on, please. I will give you the link and I'll let you cook on Tevin Farmer, there was that. I'll let you cook on what you want to see him do, what you think he's going to do, and I'll give you 10 minutes uninterrupted on my live, brother. Blue Blood Sports TV in the building. Everyone here in my chat right now, everyone watching, all y'all subscribe to Blue. I ain't got to tell y'all where to go. All y'all subscribe to Blue. So there it is. Tay in the building. So he said, hey, Blue, you see this? Drew, let's make Gary and Roach happen. No. I'm sorry. He means now. Well, look. Right on time. I don't have Gary Russell's number, but Blue Blood does. Delano, ask Blue Blood to contact Gary Russell and tell him to hit up Roach. And then Blue will do a video and I'll expand on it. I mean, look, I don't have the man's number. But Blue, be so kind and do Delano a favor, because Delano's he's a huge Tank Davis fan, but Tank has issues. So now he needs Roach to lose. He needs Roach to lose. So Blue says no need. Gary want the smoke. Okay. All right, cool. So Blue, you let us know. I get notifications, at least 40 of yours in a day, because you're the hardest working man in boxing YouTube that I've ever seen. When you drop the video, when Roach says run it, I'll do a whole live on it, and I'm gonna let Delano come on here and cook, because he need to see Roach. He need to see Roach. He need to see Roach lose. Tay says, I think he needs one more fight before Roach. Hey, I don't know. I don't know. He looks sharp, but that kid was a target last night. So I feel you. But hey, if they're gonna do it now, then who am I? You know what I'm saying? Delano says Gary been calling out everybody. Okay, but Gary just got back, brother. Yeah, Jerome, that's my live tomorrow. Yep. Gary want the smoke. And I'm with it, man. Gary looked sharp as fuck last night. But Lamont Roach is different, especially at the heavier weight. He's different. He's different. Y'all go subscribe to Tay Jones. He in the chat. Click on his name, go subscribe. I like that fight. Run it. Run something. Because Tank like running back and forth to damn jail in the court. I don't like that for the young man. What do you want me to say about it? He just keeps doing it. Don't matter. Anyway. What Blue say? Said no need. Gary Russell wants all the smoke. But Roach talking about fighting Pitbull next. Video dropping in a few, doing push-ups. You hitting that? My man. I did shoulders today. I did rear delts. I do front delts every day. Push-ups, you can't help it. I did rear delts and lats. Then my push-ups at the okay, all right. I'll be listening as soon as the video drop. Okay, so here's what I think with the information Blue just gave. Between what Blue said and what Tay Jones said, that he thinks that Gary needs one more fight, that gives opportunity for Gary to get that one more fight, while Roach gets the Pitbull fight next. Now, here's my opinion. Yeah, it seems like a delt day today, right? Damn. Now, here's my opinion on Pitbull. I spoke on it a bit last night. Pitbull is a one-trick pony. I don't know why anyone's not saying that, because, there's certain shit that is reserved for black fighters, but I'm going to say it. I love Usyk Cruz's story. I'm glad that he went from eating ramen noodles to eating steaks. I hope he's in charge of his money correctly. I hope he has the right people around him. And when he walks away from the game, I hope he can say, I made at least 10 to 20 milli, and I'm cool. I hope so. With that being said, the man's a one-trick pony. And anybody with lateral movement and a jab could beat him. They could beat him, period. They could beat him. He's really not a threat. They gave him a regular belt for what, man? I hate the WBC. I hate the WBC. I ain't want to discuss. That shit is stupid. So he gives Superdale Matias the real belt and then gives him a regular belt? Let me ask you a question. Can someone listen? Thomas, Tay, Blue, do you pay sanctioning fees on a regular belt? Yes or no? Because I don't know. Yeah, Tay, he got sliced out the fuck out of him. I heard he slapped his hat or whatever, but my thing is this. You slap me anywhere, it's a fight. They got to fight. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Word, you pay fees on a regular? I wouldn't take it. Like, yo, what are you giving me this for? I'm paying $50,000 a year or whatever the price is. I don't even know what it is. God damn. Just gave it to him. Man, horrible stuff, man. Horrible stuff. Anyway. Oh, yeah, I was talking about that today. Damn, fucking missed it. I hate the WBC, man. If there's any belt I just want to see just vanish, it's that one. He says, Delano says, Drew, better hope Roach is not a one-shot wonder and lose to Cruz. Let's get the Russell match. Why would you think he's a one-hit wonder? Did you know who Lamont Roach was before he came to 135 courtesy of Tank Davis? I knew who he was. You know who his only loss was? This guy had his own career before Tank pulled him up, which is why we was pissed off. Because number one, he was in a weight division down south of 35. And we were saying, here, this dude, Tank, go again, fighting someone smaller than him. And Tank outsmarted himself because it turns out that Roach rehydrated and he was actually bigger than Tank. Stormy said, Cruz is a one-trick mini. That dude's small as fuck, ain't he? But he could be outboxed. Roach beats him. That's why he wants that's why Roach wants that fight. Because Roach is gonna outbox him. He gonna go in there just swinging these rod hooks. Usyk Cruz throwing a jab is. Does he throw jabs? I mean, whatever. He probably does, but it's all followed by a hook. You put that stick in his shoulder on the top of his head, he can't touch you. You ever watch the Three Stooges when Curly's running at somebody and the person put his hand on his head? He's swinging his arms and he can't touch him? Shit like that. Oh, I'm sorry, Tay. Tay. Shout out to the short ladies. Shout out to you, baby. The 5-foot women. Salute to you. Yo, bro. Giovanni got robbed, bro. That was on the Errol Spence Bud Crawford undercard. He got robbed, bro. He got robbed, stupid. I was watching that. When I watched that fight, I was looking like, you know what? I had Usyk beating the shit out of Ryan Garcia that night, and this was before the cheating and the racism stuff. I said, you know what? I'm looking at the fight like, you know what? Ryan might be able to get him. He might be able to get him. He's a one-trick pony, and that'll be another, bro. That'll be a win. That's a win for Roach. And that's another thing. Usyk is not as strong as people put him out to be. He throws these thunderous left hooks. If you catch it good enough, he can get you. Like Rolly Romero found out. But that was a stylistic nightmare. Because Rolly didn't have the proper tools to get out of the way of all of that shit. Tank Davis did. Lamont Roach does. Gary Russell will just spin him and turn him all day. Have him running into shit. This guy's a one-trick pony. But he's always good. You put him on the mid-card, or depending on who's the main event, you put him on a co-main. And he's a high-impact action fighter. He's fun to watch. But he's a one-trick pony. But I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. But Roach is going to whoop his ass if that fight happens. Then after that, I'd like to see Lamont Roach versus Gary Russell Jr. And everyone needs to move on. You know, another conversation to have, I won't have it tonight, is let me ask y'all a question. And this is just something I'm thinking of right now. Is Tank Davis even the real money man anymore? Listen to what I asked. There's no wrong answer, because this is something I just thought of. I have to give it some more thought. It's a real question. Is he even the real money man at this point? At this point, right now, is he the money man? There's the reason why I'm asking. Anybody? You can say yes. You can say no. Mo Boxer says never was. Okay. Eric Jordan says no. Delano, I didn't let anybody off the hook. I didn't let Shakur off the hook. Shakur needs his own show. Oh shit. Derek Gaines, a legend. Look, he said no. No. Everyone's saying no. Yo, why was you cursing at that man at the party? Yo, you stupid, bro. Steve L cursing out Mauricio from deep. Yeah, man. I don't think he is. You wanna know why? Did Turkey Out of Sheik just really kill pay-per-view?
Good night.
Now, if he kills pay-per-view, first of all, I'll appreciate it. Kevin's Corner, salute. I'll appreciate it. Second of all, gone is an argument how many pay-per-views he sold. That shit is over. It's over. Now, Prime, for as long as they're around, you know, if you still want to pay Pinball, what up, bro? If you still want to pay $60, $70 to see whatever the PBC got going on over there, that's up to you. But I doubt you want to lead with those pay-per-view numbers as a means to what your fighter deserves. They don't deserve ish. Feel me? Thomas says, I think you need to have a separate DAZN package for the pay-per-views. I don't know how it's going to work. I really don't. What I heard, and look, I could be mishearing stuff because I briefly spoke. I briefly heard some things. I heard all you had to do was buy the app and you're in. Now, what he can do, they could up the subscription. They could up the price on the script. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. But if they legitimately destroy pay-per-view, I mean, what's going to happen? Tay says the next money man will be Benavidez. Oh. I like how these brothers moved on, right? Because we all want the Canelo fight, but Canelo don't want it. So is he next in line? Is he going to inherit Canelo's fans? I don't think so. I don't know, bro. I don't know. That it's a conversation to have. I don't know. But I'd like to see pay-per-view dead and stinking. Only because I don't like it with these fighters told me I'm the A side because I sold 1 million pay-per-views. It's like, shut up, bro. Fight your contemporary. It ain't got nothing to do with it. Yo, Mo, how much is the pay-per-views over there? We paying like $60 over here. I heard it was like fucking $12 in the UK somewhere, something crazy like that. I'm like, damn, we paying so much. I hated pay-per-view. Back in the day, it said 25 pounds. Oh, okay. That's a lot different from us paying 65, 70 bucks, man. That shit crazy. I remember back in the day when I used to watch ABC Wide World of Sports on Channel 7. And then I think that was Don King on Channel 7. And then on, I think either on CBS or NBC, Top Rank would have their boxing events. At the same time, it was Don King versus Bob Arum on Saturdays. And whoever had the better fight card would get the color TV in the living room. And then the lesser card, we'd have to go in the kitchen and watch the black and white TV. Right? And I remember we running back and forth. Oh, yo, look at this. We watching this and da-da-da-da-da, right? I remember that. Then HBO started to air boxing. And ABC Wide World of Sports boxing went off the air. And HBO started to air boxing, right? That was the pay-per-view right there because you have to buy a subscription. You used to be able to, it was home box office. You would just watch movies on the shit. And then they would air the Sugar Ray Leonard fights. But you're paying for the subscription for the movie channel. And while you're at it, they throw on the boxing, but you're already paying for the subscription. So that was the pay-per-view right there. Later on, They just added in this pay-per-view. And then we just got accustomed like it's normalized. No, it's not, man. Y'all remember when Tracy Morgan said pay-per-view is dead and he was, with the zone and shit? No. They were airing stuff, and the next thing you know, they started hitting us in the face with pay-per-views. Crazy stuff. Get rid of it. Kevin's Corner says, good push-up routine. 30 for 30, brother. I do 5 sets of 30 before I leave the house. Then I do, I ain't gonna give you a whole routine. But in my opinion, every man do 100 push-ups a day. I do 5 sets of 30 before I leave the house. Then I got the nerve to get to the gym and want to work chest. Crazy. Whatever. Let's do 5 sets of 30, man. Your chest will change in 30 days. You'll feel better. And I just saw, look, I don't know if it's true. I see a lot of stuff. They said, watching some firemen and some doctors talking about, they've noticed that men that do a lot of push-ups and just have a healthy chest. I don't know how true this is. Don't know how true it is. They said men that do a lot of push-ups and just stay in shape, got good like muscle structure in your chest, 98% less rate of heart attack. I don't know how true that is. Don't know how true that is. Now they're saying that, so whatever. There you go, Jeff Spark. That's right. Brown Bomber says, still in your routine. Have at it, brother. Go ahead, bro. I want everyone to eat healthy and live and, live your best life. Only time I don't do no push-ups, I got to be like dead sick. Like when I had COVID. Oh, my gosh. I did a live when I had COVID. I didn't even know I was sick. I went to work and everything. Nose was stuffy, no snot. Had a headache. I'm like, what the fuck? Walking up the block, breathing heavy. I said, what is this? I went to the doctor. They said, you got tested for COVID? I said, it's been a while. Just do the testing. She did the test. The nurse and the doctor came back with gloves on up to their neck. They're like, you said you was going to the gym? I said, yeah. They said, no, you're not. You got COVID. I said, oh, shit, I guess I'm going home. Yeah. No doubt, Kevin's Corner. Let me know how that works out for you, brother. Stay Dangerous says, you vegan or vegetarian? True story, I don't know the difference between the two. I know I don't eat meat. That's all I can tell you. I don't eat meat at all. Oh, stop. Stormy says, today is Bruce Lee's death anniversary. 52 years ago. Damn, 52 years ago today. Salute to the big master, Bruce Lee. Yeah. So I said, what do I do? Asked the doctor, what do I do? She said, well, you was going to go work out? She said, yeah. She said, you feel all right? I said, yeah. She said, well, go work out. Just do it outside. I went home, told my family, look, I got COVID. I'm going to stay in the room. Y'all stay away from me. Dropped off my bag, and I went outside, and I went jogging. They said it's a virus that has to run its course. If you feel well enough to work out, go work out. I went and worked out. Did calisthenics in the park. Went home and I binge watched every bad thing on not on YouTube, on Netflix, on Tubi, and it's horrible. It was funny as hell. It's funny as hell. But the queens are on. Let's go over to the queens of the ring. Our sisters is cooking. Man, salute to y'all. And just remember, what we seen versus public perception is two different things, man. It's no shade to Usyk. It's no shade to Pacquiao. But I need y'all to be smarter. Please be smarter. Usyk has no control over how the media treats him, which is why some fool came up in here and started talking about, y'all Negroes would love him if he's black. Dumbass, if you listen to me, if you listen to my video and listen to the top of the show, you'd have heard what I said, stupid. Usyk is not trash. He's great by today's standards. But y'all never once asked yourself, Snoop, what up? What are today's standards? Are they the same standards when Lennox Lewis was active? I don't think so. Now, in comparison, let me remind y'all, in comparison, when they talk about how great Usyk is, you hear him, they put him in the ring with guys like Mike Tyson when he was on the decline. Guys like Evander Holyfield when he was on the decline. What would he have done with Riddick Bowe? And would Riddick Bowe come in shape? What about Evander Holyfield? What about Lennox Lewis and all these greats? Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. They don't mention Rocky Marciano. Blasphemy. Until you knuckle dragons. I'm just going to say it. Talking bad on Ali's name. It should be a rule. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. Whether you believe it or not, to me, he's unbeatable. By today's standards, ain't nobody today fucking with Muhammad Ali. That's right. How do I know that's so? And what did I say earlier in the show? How there'll be trained boxers that don't know what we know? Boss. What did I say earlier in the show? How they are trained boxers that don't know what we know? Isn't there a video of Shakur saying, y'all ain't gonna like what I gotta say, but Tyson Fury beats Muhammad Ali. Tyson Fury gets in the ring with Usyk and lost twice. Almost got knocked out in the first fight. Lost twice. Did he not have to apologize? Okay, so by you apologizing, what are you saying? There's something about Ali that you feel beats Usyk. See what I mean? So do these motherfuckers, just because they're pro and make millions of dollars, not all these niggas know what they're talking about either. Whether it's them or people around their camp or family members or whatever, these motherfuckers don't know what we know all the time. They may know some things, but they don't know what we know. Never forget that. Y'all didn't even think about that, did you? Y'all better wake up. Wake up. Y'all better stop letting these dudes play in your face. You better stop. You better stop. Snoop, what up if I missed you? Salute, salute. They got this guy competing or beating every black heavyweight champion from all eras. And then they're saying, oh man, the athletes are so much better today than they were. No, they weren't. They're not. Not all of them. No. I think Lennox Lewis has the ring IQ to compete and stay out of trouble with Alexander Usyk. He might drop him on his ass. We'll never see it. That's my opinion, though. He's great by today's standards, but what are the standards today? And it ain't much. All this ducking and dodging that some of y'all favorite fighters are doing. Don't tell me this man beats Ali easy when he ducked Deontay Wilder. Don't do yourself like that. Because he could have fought him before all the shenanigans and he didn't do it. We was waiting for him in Brooklyn and he didn't pull up. That fight was there. He didn't do it. Why? Styles make fights. Well, anyway, be here tomorrow. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, Zelda, Cash App, Super Chat. Let's go over to the Queens of the Ring. And let's hold our queens down, man. Bronx on deck.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.